How's it going, everyone? It's Glenn here. I run a group called the Burnett River Clean, and I've acquired this boat. It came from a farm. It had been sitting on a farm for about 20 years. I'm going to try to restore it somehow. I've got not much experience in this kind of a thing. You can see the paint here is just really bad. It's just flaking off, and this side's like it all the way down. The gunnels are like it. The gunnel rubber is all rotten. I've pulled the gunnel rubber off because water's somehow getting down into the front of the boat here, and I think it's getting through these gaps. So I took that off. You can see the trailer is really ordinary. Coming around here past my lovely dog Angel, and this is the side I've already started on, so you can see it's gone through like that flaky paint to a blue paint, and then down to a white gel coat, which was probably the original colour, because that's where the actual sticker was that showed the name of the boat. So I don't know whether this has all got to come off or not. I don't know whether that blue stuff's gel coat or paint or what the story is, but I'll go and get some advice today to find out whether or not I can paint over it. You can see there's a patch here that's been put in. It's pretty thin. I'll probably either replace that or get inside if it's okay and just reinforce it a bit more and give it a few more coats. There's anti-fouling that's been on here, so that will have to come off right down to the glass, I suppose. Well, that's how I've usually done anti-fouling when I replace it. It's got a pod on the back of it, an alloy pod. The old yammies, the tops of the yammies have been in the sun so long you can see the fibres are sticking out of the motor as well, out of the top of the cowling. This is the arse end view. It's not a bad old boat, but needs a lot of work. That's the little boat I use at the time. I'm a commercial fisherman as well, so that's also used. A couple of smaller boats over there, but this is the one that I want to try to get going to use it as a boat down the river, just to pick up rubbish and stuff like that for the Burnett River Clean and the Ocean River Clean Incorporated. Be a bit more comfortable for people to sit in too. The interior is looking like it's been sitting 20 years as well. It's got two pretty cool little hatches in the floor, because it was actually a commercial fishing boat at one stage, and they're not bad little hatches. They're insulated and the lids need to be replaced. There's a number of bulkheads that seem to always have water in them, so that's why I thought it might be coming down from up around that gunnel area there and then running down under the floor, but I don't know how it could be getting under the floor, but I'll sort all that out. I've got a wasp in here somewhere. There it is, a lone wasp. And you can see up there that thin area and a gap between where the top of the hull joins the mould on the top, and it must be leaking down and somehow getting under the floor and going through all the bulkheads, because even though it's got bulkheads in it, someone's drilled holes so the water can run through them all to the end, and there's no bung in it anyway, which is a bit strange. So I don't know, they've all got to be sealed, and maybe bilge pumps can go into each bulkhead, you know, with alarms and stuff like that. If you want to do it properly, I suppose that's just what you got to do. The deck is really uneven. It's pretty good, but it seems to be in good condition. It doesn't seem to be rotten. It's just a little bit uneven, which isn't too hard to clean up. There's fuel tanks there and a fuel tank there. You can see the lines running down, so they must be directly under these seats. That is going to have to be inspected. I'm going to have to somehow cut a patch into them and pull that out and either replace the tanks, because looking at the rest of the boat, you could almost guarantee that those tanks are going to be dodgy as. But you never know, they could be beautiful stainless tanks or alloy tanks or something like that with nothing wrong with them. If that's the case, they can stay there. There was a little area at the back there where the batteries were held, and there was a little basin on the top there, but yeah, that's all got to be replaced as well. All the remote cables have had it. All the gauges have had it. All this paint has just been painted straight onto resin. It looks like some sort of oil-based crap paint that's all just flaking off everywhere, so that's all going to come off. Someone's put Perspex windows in. They're going to be replaced with laminated glass. And I'll just give you a look at the roof. You can see the roof area has been sanded back. The fibres were exposed. See there how long that So I don't know whether those fibres were exposed from sitting in the sun for 20 odd years, or whether it was a thin coat of resin, or what the story is. But like I said, the tops of the outboards are doing the same thing, so it could be just relentless days in the sun. Because you can see those fibres sticking out of the top of the 90 horse Yummy there, and that's a 90 horse Yummy, and you can see that's sit in the sun for a long time as well, and it hasn't even looked like doing that. And that's the little tinny I use as well. But that's another story. This is the story today, and what I want to do is start to spend a bit of time on it and get into it and get the paint off and let you guys watch as I go along and maybe leave some messages. I'm in Australia, I'm in Bundaberg, and it's in Queensland in Australia, and it's pretty warm here, so gel coat's going to have to be used at a different ratio, I suppose, with the hardener and stuff than what it is when you're in the southern states or in colder parts of the world. Yeah, so anyone with any ideas, let me know. Feel free to leave a message. And in Australia, as you know, we call it flow coat and gel coat, and I know that in the States and other places like they just call it gel coat with or without wax. But it's all the same thing. We can buy it here with the wax as flow coat. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing. I'll just show you one little area where I sanded the hull back and put on just one coat of flow coat, and I just wanted to see how it would sand up. So I used an 80 grit and a 200, a 400, 800 or something, you know, like just along the lines, and come to a 1200 and polished it up with a wet and dry 1200 with the disc sander running off the compressor, and it came up unbelievable. Actually, it came up like a boat that's just come out of a mould. It just needs to be polished, that's all. And that's the first attempt I've ever had at it, so it's a bit thin, you can see the paint through it, but I will show you what I mean. It just gives you a bit of a will to keep going and try again and keep going until you get it right, I suppose. So look at these. In Queensland we have rainbow lorikeets, and they're having a great old time on the new fruit coming through on that palm tree there. So here's the area I've already slapped the coat of gel coat on, flow coat, and you can see here I've put it on pretty thick too, but I've only sanded it about 80%, so you can see those rough areas still through the sanding. Here I did it about a little bit more, about 90%, and on this one I sanded it with the 1200, and it's just so smooth. But these little pitters were from me when I did it at night and bugs landed in, and I picked them out with my bloody fingers, which is really smart. But you can see the shape of the stuff when it went on. It was rough as. It was really rough. And that sanded out pretty smooth. And when you look at it from this way, I don't know whether you can see how it actually is. It's even got a little bit of a shine to it, but it really needs a polish. But that is just super smooth. I was just stoked when I saw that, and there's really no blue behind it, and I painted over the blue. There's a bit of blue. I sanded it a bit too deep, and there it was a bit thinner, and you can see the blue. Under here you can see there's a patch. Here it is. It looks like a patch to me. Where was it? About here. Looks like someone's whacked it and put a patch in, but maybe not, who knows. It might just look that way, but to me it looks like a patch has gone over that. But we'll soon find out. When I pull the tanks out, we can have a look from the inside. But besides that, it's something that you expect. It's been a commercial fishing boat as well. I look after my commercial boat, and I suppose these people looked after this one too, because it is about a 1985 model. So to still be around in this day and age in one piece is a miracle, I suppose. But they're great boats. We have over here, we have shark cats, whalers, cougar boats. I think they're called cougar hulls. Someone might be able to help me with that one. This one's a master, a sea master or something. So they were really scarce, and they're probably crap compared to the shark cats and everything. But all twin hulls are a lot more comfortable in the ocean than a mono hull, I've found, unless you're in a Haynes Hunter or something with a nice deep V in it like that. But anyway, thanks for watching the video, and if you want to keep watching, subscribe, and then I'll go into the next parts. I'll start sanding today and probably put up a bit of that. And when I paint the roof, I'm going to paint the roof a bright yellow. I've always wanted a nice bright yellow roof, and that sort of also helps me think that if I am in the middle of the ocean and it's a bit choppy and all that, I might stand out if anything ever happens. So that's my theory behind a nice, this one here has a blue canopy, and I mean, in the ocean you probably wouldn't even see me from a helicopter or anything like that, but yeah, just yellow, something different. A yellow roof and a yellow area up on top of this mould here, and the rest of the boat can be white, the side of the cabin can be white. But like, you know, I've got to check the transom and go right over it and make sure that the transom's okay, but it does seems pretty solid to me. It seems really solid. But like I said, anyway, thanks for watching, and if you liked it, yeah, subscribe, and we'll go on to the next one. Thanks.